Good afternoon. My name is Ann Winkle, and this is my case study for EDL 854, and let's get started. So, reporting of the facts. Establishing the fact. What happened is Byerdale Elementary is part of a district that has a curriculum focused on basic skills. Funds that are placed by the superintendent in the school's budget must be used to fund that basic curriculum. Funds for supplementary curriculum are raised by this foundation, the Byerdale Foundation, that is chaired by a parent. This year they have a new leader, Mr. Barely, who is a parent, new to the community, and a Harvard grad. Mr. Barely is motivated to raise funds for the new innovative curriculum programs along with the existing ones. He comes up with this fundraising event that he used at his Harvard fraternity where they sell raffle tickets in exchange for a chance to win cash. But on the night of the raffle, marking the end of one of the most successful fundraisers in the school history, he's arrested after they are tipped the sheriff's department for a misdemeanor. When is this occurring? It's during the current school year, and it is at the night of the raffle drawing after all the tickets were sold. It is at Byerdale Elementary, which is in the center of the town, and it is an elementary school that has a population of about 600 students. Who is involved? We have Mr. Santos, which is myself. I'm the principal, and I have funds, like I said, for the basic skills curriculum. I have to fundraise to fund the supplementary curriculum programs like music, art, and such. We've always agreed with the parents that ran the foundation. I gave Mr. Barely an orientation for his new position as president of the foundation. I had no idea that Mr. Barely was going to be arrested on the night of the raffle. Then you have Mr. Barely. He's new to the school community. He's a new leader of the foundation. He's a Harvard grad. He has all these brand new ideas to raise money for these new innovative curriculum program. He's the one that had the idea to have this fundraiser where they sold raffle tickets in exchange for a cash prize. He was arrested and convicted of a misdemeanor on the night of the raffle for his role in the raffle for cash event. Who might be involved? Mr. Morley. Now, Mr. Morley is a former fraternity brother, Mr. Barely. He is serving as the president of the foundation at another elementary school. He defeated Mr. Barely in a class president race at Harvard, and he was unknowingly motivating Mr. Barely because he wanted to raise more money than him since he beat him in a race at Harvard. Who else might be involved is a tipster. They don't identify who that is. They tipped off the local sheriff and informed them of the raffle event at the elementary school, and they knew something that no one else did. And then possibly the lead teacher who spearheads the school site committee. And that was who all the recommendations from the parent foundation, their suggestions were always forwarded to the school site curriculum committee, and they were in support of the raffle before it happened. Communicating about the ethical issues. Who was harmed by the action? I was harmed, the principal. I was embarrassed, and then the foundation is now going to have bad marks and not have any funds possibly. Did this whole thing break any laws? Well, Mr. Barely, of course, he got a misdemeanor. We don't really know what for or why. Was it really his role in the raffle event, or was it something else? And then if there's district policy on fundraising, he might have broke those policy rules and laws. There was no breach of contract, discrimination, or harassment in this case that we know of. Now onto the synthesizing. So all the details in one, what exactly happened. Mr. Barely, who was the president of the foundation at Byerdale Elementary School, organized one of the most successful fundraisers in the history of the school with a raffle for cash event, but then he was arrested and put on probation for his role in the event, leaving the school to deal with bad press and bad funds. Now let's go into more detail. People involved, like I said, myself, I'm the principal. I ran the school. I managed the budget. I always agreed with recommendations from this foundation. I was the one that gave Mr. Barely the orientation and told him about his role, his responsibility, and I was surprised by the arrest. And then what we know about Mr. Barely, he's new to the school community. He's a new president. He's a Harvard grad. He lost in a presidential race against Mr. Morley. He was motivated by that fact as well. He had the idea for the fundraiser since they used it at his frat, and it was very successful, and he wanted to raise money for innovative curriculum programs, so we thought he was in good, he had good ideas, and then he was arrested and convicted of a misdemeanor. And then Mr. Morley, what we know about him is he is one of Mr. Barely's former frat brothers. He beat him in the president race, and he is a president of a foundation at another elementary school. What we don't know about myself, did I explain the district policy on fundraising to Mr. Barely? Did I help him or oversee what he was planning? What do we not know about Mr. Barely? Does he have a criminal background or history? Has he been arrested for something in the past? Has he done much work in schools before? And was he being honest when he was selling the raffle tickets? That could all be part of the arrest. And then Mr. Morley, we don't really know about his relationship with Mr. Barely. Was he the tipster? If so, was it an honest tip or was it revenge for something in the past? Facts about the place. It is Byerdale Elementary. It's at the center of a town. It's a diverse community. It's where all the meetings are and the spelling bee. It was a really big community meeting center. School's population has over 600 students. It's one of 6 elementary schools in the district. The district also has 2 middle schools and 1 high school, very well known. Unknown things. We don't know the demographics. We don't know if it's rural or urban. We don't know what city or town it's located in. We don't know what state it's in. And we don't know, are Mr. Bailey and Mr. Morley just new to the community or just new to the school? Unknown facts about the place, or facts about the program, my bad. It's a public elementary school, 1st through 5th. Teachers are what we call lifers. They stay there. There's not a lot of transfers or resignations. The district curriculum focuses on basic skills and student performance. And that's what the funding from the district goes to. Funds for the supplementary curriculum subjects like music and art, those have to be raised in other ways, like the fundraiser, and then they're handed over to the principal. The foundation is chaired by a parent, and then there's a protocol where the suggestions from the foundation goes to the school site curriculum, and parents have always been supportive of the programs funded by this foundation. What we don't know is there a district policy on fundraising? Is there a district policy on how this foundation is ran? How much overseeing was required or should be required from the principal? What procedures, regulations, safeguards are in place in dealing with funds and money in terms of the whole district to prevent fraud and embezzlement? So those are the things we don't know about the program. Now, prioritizing the information. This could be damaging, very damaging to a lot of stakeholders. The people that have things at stake will be myself, the elementary, the foundation, the community, the students who need and enjoy those supplementary curriculum programs and those classes and subjects, the teachers that teach those subjects, and then Mr. Barely could be at stake, but it could be in a negative way. So yes, those are all the people that are at stake of what's happening. Stakeholders to consult: lawyers and legal consultants from the district, the superintendent, the school board, maybe get a background check on Mr. Barely. We probably should contact Mr. Morley if we feel like that's safe and our lawyers suggest that, and then maybe the other principals from the other elementary schools in the district. Those are the people that we should consult before making this decision. Can I learn more about the situation? I need to know the background of Mr. Barely, the relationship between Mr. Barely and Mr. Morley, Mr. Bailey's experience with money, and then again the district policy on fundraising, and then just the general finance rules and guidelines. Do I know enough to make a decision? After I seek legal advice, I believe I do. So the options are, this is again from my point of view, the principal. I either do nothing, I let things play out, I lay low for a while, the press will have a new story soon, you know how that works. In due time, we'll gain the funds back for the supplementary curriculum programs, and we'll let the law take care of Mr. Barely. Consequences is I could come across as if I don't care, I'm just sitting back and letting things happen. And if I will never know if I would have done more, could I get some more money back? Like if we go to court, we sue Mr. Barely, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of what ifs if I just sit back and do nothing. If I do something, that would be to find and read the current policies, seek legal advice from the district, maybe seek legal advice outside the district, and then go to the news to get my side of the story, to advocate for the school, and put them on a positive note in order to save our reputation, like get our side of what happened at this raffle event. Consequences of that, though, it takes money, it takes time and patience. Anything with the law and the legal system always does. And I might do a lot of work and get nothing in it to show for the end. Other options, I could ride the situation out and change the setup to be parent-led. Change the setup of the parent-led foundations to have more procedures and safeguards in place to keep this from happening again. The other option is I could end the foundation, try other avenues for gaining funds for the supplementary program, just try something else besides having this foundation that's ran by parents. The evaluation now. So option 1, pros and cons. Pros and cons to doing nothing at all. Pros, less stress, less money. Cons, again, I'm looked at being lazy and not caring, and I have to live with the what ifs for the rest of my life. If I do something, the pros would be my reputation could benefit from it. We could gain funds back that we lost, and we may find policies are in place already that can support us in the legal battle. The cons to that is, again, it's money, time, stress, patience, and the result might not be worth all that. The other options, more guidelines could prevent it from happening again. If I put more guidelines in place for this parent foundation, ending the foundation would prevent it from ever happening again. Cons to that, it could take time, meetings, agreements, coming up with all the new guidelines and safeguards. And then if I drop it, the new idea might not bring in the funds like the old one did. So the final decision, I'm going to kind of do it all and the other option mixed in. I'm going to kind of the general overview of what I'm going to do. I'm going to seek legal advice from the district and an outside company, ask the news to report my side of the story and the part that the elementary school had to play in what happened in terms of the arrest of him, Mr. Bailey. Go to the superintendent and board for new policy, regulation, procedures to get put in place in regards to fundraising and the foundation itself, and change the leadership of the foundation to be a parent representative and a school representative so that it's just not all on one parent. So the steps I'm going to take, again, I'm going to look over the current policy that go along with this fundraising situation, contact the district to see what legal personnel I'm supposed to be using, maybe contact outside legal advice to get a second opinion, contact the news to ask if they'll run my side of the story to have some positive press and advocate for the school to offset the negative, use my building leadership team to come up with ideas and suggestions for change to be made in the policy for fundraising in the foundation. And once these ideas are polished, I'll take them to the superintendent and board to get approved. And then I need to determine a new parent and then a new school member to be lead the foundation. Those are the steps I'm going to take to implement my plan and the details involved. Some things to do to avoid legal outcomes. I need to contact legal advice as soon as possible. Ask the superintendent and other principals of the other elementary schools for their advice on this matter. Keep my BLT building leadership team in the loop because the team is better for developing and carrying out plans that are going to promote the current and future success of each student and adult at my school. So again, have them help me with the new guidelines and rules that we want to put in place and suggest to the board, and just kind of have as a team working together to get through all this. Don't badmouth Mr. Bailey. If I get a chance to do a news story, keep it all positive, kind of leave his personal name out, and then contact Mr. Morley, maybe if legal advice suggests it, to get some background on Mr. Bailey and maybe what he's capable of doing. And then plan B, use only if I have to, based on what I've learned. I think that plan B would be to just end the foundation, go to the superintendent, other principals, and staff for ideas on different ways to raise fund for that section of the curriculum and the supplementary subjects like music, art, and so on and so forth. And that is the end of my presentation. Here's my reference. I hope you enjoyed, and I appreciate you listening. Thank you so much.